So hopefully everybody is seeing my screen now. Essentially it should be an on-the-green screen with a little pop-up box in front of it. What's in front of it is the agenda of what we're going to cover. The title of the class is Resources, Support, and On the Green. We're going to give you some general guidance and walk through some resources that you guys have available at your fingertips. Walk around on the green a little bit so you can see what's out there, things maybe you'd never bumped into before, and just give you some general navigation to some of the tools that are available for you at Ryan. So first of all, I kind of have three little items here, the roles of the different groups. So what I should talk about, the groups I'm going to be talking about is the Construction Operations Group, which I'm a part of, as well as some others, the Field Operations Group, and then the IS role. So construction operations, the best way to think of us is we are a resource to help you with all the tools and applications that you need to do your job. Primarily on the office side, but we do support field applications as well. So examples of this are ProLiance, Prolog Mobile now, Textura, GradeBeam, a few other things. We also support the VDC initiative or BIM initiative, as well as the pre-construction. So what that means is if you're having technical difficulties with any of those programs that I just mentioned, you can call us and we can walk you through it. We can also help you with training in any of those categories. Field operations roles, very similar, definitely with a field focus though. So items that they'd be more focused on would be like QA/QC and safety, in addition to some of the general training and onboarding that you do. So we'll walk through their website a little bit and you can see more of what they have available. And then last but not least is the IS staff. IS staff focuses primarily on technical solutions, meaning that if you're having difficulty logging into your computer, you can contact Nick or any of his peers over there. If you're having problems loading a program onto your computer, they can walk you through that. There are multiple things that they can do. Those are just two examples, but just to kind of talk about the difference, IS focuses on the technical side of things and getting your computers and your communication systems working, whereas both the construction and the field operations group kind of focus on how you can use that and why you would use those applications. So hopefully that makes sense for everybody. Nick, do you have anything to add to that? Or does that sound appropriate?
No, that sounded good.
Okay. Okay, with that, we're going to jump to On the Green. And you can see the list of items that we're going to go through. If you guys have been at Ryan for a while, this may seem very redundant or second nature to you, but typically people find one or two little tidbits that may help them in their day-to-day lives. So stick with us. The first thing I will walk through, let me move the agenda off the screen here, is just the general homepage and toolbar. So you can see our homepage is broken up into various sections. We have a news section in the middle here, kind of lower left-hand corner, that is always up and running and as a kind of a running feed of new employees and general announcements. We have at the top here a list of menus that I will go through in a lot more detail as we get through it, but they cover everything from tools that you may use, reports to resources, departments, A&Es, and such, training options, and then some of our other offshoot sites. Then I have a section over here in the right-hand side that contains many quick links that are there, and I will go through those with each one of them, as well as a section down here. But you can see most of the stuff is at your fingertips, and pretty easy to find the stuff that you'll use day to day. The other thing, one of the key functions I use is this general search box. You'll see me type in there a lot in this upper right-hand corner. And essentially what it's going to do is it's going to isolate the results that you want if you're trying to find something specific, and if you want to use that versus navigating through these drop-downs, they'll essentially get you to the same place, or should get you to the same place depending on how you search. But those are all options for you to use. So with that, I'll look through this search bar, or excuse me, this toolbar up at the top here, and we'll kind of go through some of these. Search is relatively self-explanatory. It is essentially the same function as this cell over here on the right-hand side. Tools, this contains a list of links to a lot of applications that we do, and you heard me mention a few of them to start off with. I won't go into all of them, but maybe some that are more pertinent to you guys, such as construction reporting. This is where you can get to a bunch of reports, such as insurance reports, project directories, vendors' history on their contracts and their statuses, as well as the ACR, the anticipated cost report. You can essentially get to any project and get a report on its financial health, whether you go into Proliance or not. So know that that exists out there, and I will not jump into any of those, but there are ways to get to the same point through multiple links here. So keep that in mind. Other tools that are available, Enterprise One is the accounting system. So that's where we pay all of our vendors from. And we process all of our invoices and such. Expense reports, I'll actually jump into that later. GoToMeeting, I just want to take a quick moment and note that this will essentially be getting traded out at some point in the near future, let's say 1 to 3 months, for a WebEx link. And you guys probably all understood that when you joined this online meeting today, you came in through WebEx. We are, as a company, going to WebEx as a standard, and so this GoToMeeting option will be replaced over time. So know that. The next thing is GradeBeam. That is our bidding and procurement solution. Imaging and process management, that is the idea of invoice routing and approval. One-click contains a few options out here. One is to look up history on some old jobs. If you ever had a job that was, trying to think, let's say pre-2007, some of the information may be in there, such as owners, architects, and such, if you are looking through proposals or trying to put together a proposal. And then some of the other functions in there are more of our financial functions for projecting our business and the revenue that we're going to do in the future. Proliance, I won't jump in too much, but that is our project control system, of which there are multiple trainings on coming up in the next 3 months. Ryan Connect, I'll skip because that's essentially being weaned off with other tools such as Oxygen and Prolog Mobile. Ryan Content Manager, I'll skip that. Ryan Tools, if you have been here for a while, this is the legacy of Ryan's knowledge management, containing a bunch of our work instructions, examples of how to handle certain situations, and so on and so forth. I will jump into that in more detail here in a little bit. And then we also have Textura, which is the way to have payment applications sent in to Ryan electronically, and then webmail. And so I'll get to webmail here in a second as well. But let's see, you'll notice that one, that webmail link in here a couple times. Next thing up is resources. Again, I won't go through all these, but they're pretty self-explanatory, like offices. If you wanted to get in here and you're going to another office, let's say I was going down to our San Diego office, because that would be much nicer weather, I can go through there and find their address as well as their main contact numbers and their current weather, which is great. So know that that exists. Let's see, what else do we got here? Phone book, I'll hold off on that one. Second, process improvement. Everybody has ideas on what they want to do at Ryan and how they can make processes better, and that's great. We want you to share those. This is a collection of those ideas that you have, and there's a big button in the middle called the suggestion box that you can throw in any idea that you have out there, and somebody will go through and evaluate it and see how much value we can gain from it and how easy it is to roll out to everybody. There's also a list here of all the existing ideas that are being worked on, which you can see is pretty extensive. So just know that it's out there and you can get to it whenever you need. ravings fans. I'll jump some of these other ones just because there are a lot of quick links elsewhere. Strategic plans, hopefully it's self-explanatory, but the strategic plan that the executive management team and all your regional leaders work on each year gets posted here. So if you want to feel or understand how you can be a part of that, especially as we are in the season for performance reviews and individual goals, this will be a good reference point, a reference material of how you can apply some of what you want to do personally to those corporate and or regional goals. So know that they exist. Trevisan, if you are a traveler, Trevisan is our agent for our travel agent. So they can help you with reservations and essentially all your travel needs. So know that you can jump there. Verizon I'll skip and the wikis I'll skip just because they're not as robust. Departments, we will get into these in detail here in a little bit, but essentially every major department at Ryan has its own homepage. They all use them differently. Some of them use it for announcements, some use it for navigation to specific tools that they have, and we'll go through a few examples. Media, you can read here from the drop-down menu. You have a few options of videos that are out there about Ryan, podcasts that Pat Ryan or others have put out over time. Ryan in the News is essentially a search function. Let's just pull up, see where we're at in the news these days. But it goes ahead, and I think it does a Google alert and scans options or places where Ryan was mentioned in the news, and it's thinking here a little bit. So that either means we've been noted in the news a lot or not at all. We also have the same thing for a few of our customers that we work with a lot over time. And so neither of these seem to be working right now, but for the most part what you typically get is kind of a Google search response where it would have a list of 10 or 15 news articles about that group. Training, there's more to come on this one. I will let you know that right now Ryan is in the process of bringing in a new application that will make training such as classes like this more centralized and easier to access, including tracking what you've taken over time, what skills that you pulled from each training, and what credentials essentially you have. If you have a lead accreditation or something like that, all that stuff is going to pull into kind of a persona of you and a personal page for you. So this will be revamped in the future. Know that that's coming, let's say 6 months from now. Social media, this is where we could jump and find probably Ryan's Facebook page if we wanted to, and then project sites. I'll give you an example just because I know of one, the CR flood recovery. I'll use this to navigate to it just to show you options. This is an example of a SharePoint site that was created for a project specifically. This project is actually a collection of multiple buildings and multiple team members. So what this group or this team used this site for was trying to consolidate templates and stuff that would be used on all these different projects. And an example of that is in the shared document section over here on the right. A lot of these documents, such as a schedule of values, that is a schedule of value document that talks about the cost breakdown on a project, and the owner that we were working for wanted to make sure that that was done the exact same way on all the projects or all the buildings we were working on. And so we posted out to the share site, and everybody can access it, so they start from the same template. So very similar. You could do functions like this in your network drive, your J drive, your Y drive, whatever the case may be, but maybe a project site may help you. There's also places to put calendars, right? If you are on a large project team and you want to make sure everybody knew when people were going on vacation or going to be out of town, this is the place that you could put a team calendar out there. So know that this exists. If you need one of these set up, all you need to do is submit a work order to IS. So jumping back, let's see here. That kind of covers the main project sites and stuff. Let me increase screen size so you guys can see a little bit easier. Now I'm going to jump into some of the quick links that we have. First one is birthdays and anniversaries. If you ever wondered when your peers are having their birthday or an anniversary at Ryan, jump to this page. You'll see a list of those that are having it within the current week pop up on the screen initially. You can also go down here on the bottom left-hand corner and search birthdays, right? So I can select an individual. Let's just do myself, right? Where am I at here? There we go. And hit submit, and I can see when my birthday is and how long I've been here, right? So some pertinent information if you ever wanted to plan a party or whatever for somebody that's near you. So that exists. I'll go back to the home page here. This phone book, there are multiple ways to find people within Ryan right now. We are trying to consolidate some of that. One is a phone book here. You can also typically type in a person's name in this top search bar and get to their main information. Let's see if it works. Where am I at here? I'll switch my filter to say people, and here we'll give a list of my attributes, specifically my phone numbers. The one thing that you'll see is sometimes there are missing components, like this one does not show, this phone book that I'm in right now does not show my cellular number. And so if I was going to go back and I'm saying, I know that I have a cell phone, I should go look for that again. I'm going to click on this other phone book that has employees, type in my last name. It's, oops, if I can type my last name correctly and hit search, you'll see I have sometimes some more complete information. So just know no one address is better than the other consistently. Sometimes you may find information in one and not in another, and vice versa. So keep that in mind. Expense reports, big dollar sign, pretty easy to follow along. It walks you through about how to create a new expense report if you need reimbursement on something that you did, or if you were expending mileage to go to another office or another location. This will get you reimbursed for that. After that, we have quick links to more third-party based or internet-based options, RSS feeds, weather, Google Earth, Wikipedia, and I assume this is our Ryan Facebook account. You'll also see in this area you can jump to any of the latest podcasts that Pat Ryan has put out and listen to those. And then there's more quick links here, like process improvement ideas. Here's another link that takes you again to the exact same page that you've gotten to before. So even though you see multiple links, they will get you back to the same point so that you're dealing from a consistent message. So strategic plans are here again. Ryan job opportunities. I'll actually highlight this one a little bit just because hopefully everybody saw on the green that the referral incentive for getting somebody to come work for Ryan has been raised to $2,500. So please take advantage of that. If you want to look at what jobs we currently have posted, you can click on this link. That'll take you to Ryan's website. And here you go. The list is going to get larger, but here's where it stands today. All right. So the next thing I wanted to do is I wanted to walk through, what am I on now? So Ryan Tools. So under the Tools section, one of these items that we have is called Ryan Tools. This will probably be revamped over the course of the next few years, but some of the tools that exist out there are broken into categories or departments. And you can see we can go into construction. You can pick on which tool set you want if you're in the field operations or project management operations, and you can start looking for specific items. Let's say I want to look for closeout, right? Under here is a list of either checklists or meetings, schedules, certificates, a bunch of stuff that I can get to help you close the job. So I won't go through all this. But you can definitely peruse through there at your own leisure and find out what's in there. Another thing to let you know is if you are in, and I'll just go back to on the green quick. if you do a search, and let's say I did closeout, again, since we were just talking about it here, I will get some options of things to go to, and some of those are closeout checklists and such. That search box also goes over the Ryan Tools results. If you wanted to only see what was in Ryan Tools, I can refine my search filter and click on Ryan Tools results, and these are all those documents that we were just looking at. So hopefully that makes sense. You also find sometimes when you do a search, you may get to a specific page on a subject, such as this wiki page on construction closeout. The hyperlinks that are shown in here will take you back to those exact same documents that were in Ryan Tools. So again, multiple ways to get to a common piece of information. Next, I wanted to show you webmail, and this shows up in a couple places. It's under Tools, Webmail. It also shows up, I believe, in Departments under IS, Webmail. What this does is you can log in to your computer's email if you're in another location. And specifically where I use this is if I am in a conference room and I wanted to look up something quick because I know I got an email on it just recently. This is the quick way to get to your Outlook email folders. And I'm not going to type in my password, but if I log this in with your regular username and password, your network one, and hit sign in, it's going to pull me into Outlook, but from another computer. So again, comes in handy for conference rooms and maybe other locations when you're at Ryan or on somebody else's computer and you want to check your email quick. You can do it through that. So know that that exists. Now let's start going through departments, or actually I'm going to take a quick pause and find out, Nick, do you have anything that I missed in general navigation before I jump to departments that you want to add?
No, the only thing I would add is, Mike, well, you said that when you did a search for yourself, your cell phone wasn't showing up. It is pretty easy for us to update that, at least the Active Directory system that pulls from and what Outlook pulls from. So I actually went in and fixed yours while you were talking there. So it takes about 24 hours to update, but in the next couple of days here it should. And that's also, I think the more important thing is that Outlook pulls from that same thing as well. So if you're searching for Mike on Outlook, you're not going to see his, or even on your iPhone, because iPhone pulls from Outlook as well, or whatever smartphone you have. That you wouldn't see his cell phone number. Now you would. So if you do see discrepancies between, or if there's something missing, I would say submit a ticket to us, and we can get that updated for you guys. So
that's a great segue and a great point that everybody can participate in updating this information. And I'll actually jump into the IS department group first to talk about submitting a work order. Right, so this is a way that you can turn in that information. If you say, I'm Mike Ernst, and I noticed my cell phone number was missing, please add it to the address book. That's what I would submit. If I am having problems with logging in today, well, that would be difficult because I wouldn't log in, but if I had problems logging into, let's say, ProLiance, or if Oxygen was not syncing appropriately, or various other options. Maybe you want to submit a ticket and say, please add Bluebeam to my computer as my PDF viewer. All these functions can be handled by going to Departments, IS, and submit a work order ticket. With that, you'll get a pop-up of an email that directly goes to a bunch of people in IS, and they kind of divvy it up and deal with it in the most effective manner possible to get it resolved quickly. So there's multiple people that get this email, and you could just go ahead and say, please add Bluebeam to my computer, right? Which is actually a ticket I do need to send in. So I can go ahead and do that, and I will get an automatic response saying it's been logged, and IS will then resolve that. So know that that's a very, very useful piece. While we're talking about IS, I'm actually going to go through a few other things here. You'll see when you hover over the IS area, you get a few options. One of those is the guest wireless access. And I know I'm going to talk more about this. Nick and I are going to talk more about this on Wednesday, but while we're here, the guest wireless access is a network called RGNet, and this contains, if I click on this, it'll give me essentially a Word document that contains all the wireless requirements and passwords and user IDs for a current time frame. Know that this changes out. So if you have guests coming in, they can find RGNet, and if you pull up this list, you will find the usernames and passwords that are valid. In this case, it looks like through May 10th. These are also the sheets that get printed off and put in a lot of your conference rooms. So that is an easy way to get to that stuff. I'll look at other ones. We mentioned webmail, email, retention policies. If you wanted to get interested in that, you could as well. Now I'm actually jumping into IS's main page on the green. You can see a lot of those functions that we just talked about are shown down the left-hand side here. Things that are added in here are like Minneapolis printers, Chicago printers. If you wanted to find some of that information, you could. They actually have done a nice job of doing maps with all the printers in the area based on your floor plan. If you wanted to find out what a printer number was because you wanted to join that. And what else am I missing? Oh, here's the things I'm missing. Down here on the right-hand side, they have a lot of policies and guides, but some of them are instructions too, and specifically meet me numbers. If you're trying to set up an audio conference, this will walk you through how to set that up and contact IS to do that. And if you want to see what everybody looks like, the people you're talking to on the other side of the phone, this is it. So quite the pictures. Let me go now back to the home page, and hopefully you guys have been noticing I've been getting back to the home page in multiple ways, right? I've either been clicking on home, I've been clicking on hovering over on the green graphic and clicking that, I've been typing it in. I also have it set up as a home page, which I believe happens to everybody's computer initially, but there are multiple ways to get back to the home page. Departments. Since we're the construction group, let's focus on ourselves here for a while. So if you hover over construction, you essentially get two options, field ops and the office. Under field ops, this is where you will find specific things for the field. Primarily, you get some of your safety aspects in here. So if you have any safety things that you need to find out about, if you need to print off compliance posters or signage, or you need to do a job hazard analysis, a checklist, all those tools are available for you here on the left-hand side. You also have your tools for quality assurance, right? So if you want to schedule a design review or do an outline or go through the entire manual, you can do that here. You can also always, let me just click on this so I get my search bar back. You can always type that stuff in again, right? So QA, QC, I click on that. I see that one of my options is the wiki checklist. And essentially here is a list of every QA, QC section that is out there in Excel format. So again, multiple ways to get to your information. Let me go back to field here and see if I missed anything. I think it's pretty good. There's some items down here at the bottom for the yard. If you're ever doing an estimate and you're looking up rental rates for a certain piece of equipment, that would be here. There's typically some nice safety slides here that are season dependent. This one obviously is a little old. It's still dealing with winter weather conditions, which even though it says January, could have been 2 weeks ago here in Minneapolis, but you get the point. The other thing that's on here is Soup Online. And if you're not familiar with Soup Online, it was essentially, or is, an attempt to try and aggregate some of this information for the field supervisors into specific groups and categories that graphically tell you what to do, right? So if you're dealing with personnel, this is where you can find your new hire packets. Manuals, safety manuals. These will be duplicates of some of that stuff that we saw on the field ops site. A superintendent manual, that's probably not on the field ops site, but available for you here. the phone book, right? Reference material, the phone book. This will take you back to the phone books that we were looking at before. So many, many ways, again, to get to the same information. The one I think is probably most helpful here, just because it's a big, bright, and red, is the emergency management program that will help you walk through setting up your protocols if you have a job site emergency and give you the first, second, and third steps to do in case of that. So know that all of that exists. Next, I'll go to construction. I'll go to office and just talk about the general categories that exist here. So going down the left-hand side, you can see that we essentially have some quick links, like I can get to the field ops site from here if I wanted to, but I also have a lot of information that a project manager or a project team could get engaged with, such as inclusion, right? Bringing on minority and women-owned businesses into our projects. Integrated project delivery. This is where, if I can click on the chart here, hopefully people have seen this over time, or at least as part of orientation. This is the map of our process at Ryan and how we go through all the different phases of a project, from pursuit through the initial design phases and pre-construction phases to construction, turnover, and operations. This is a flow chart of how all that information flows in the different markets within Ryan, or the different departments within Ryan. So this is a great placemat to have and print it off. In fact, I have one hanging from my wall right now, and I would encourage all of you to do the same. So let me jump back here, and I'll get back to the main construction office section. Things are also out here. Pre-construction toolbox. We deal with pre-construction a lot, and so this is a collection of all your tools, whether it be estimates that you're producing, scope documents. You know, if you'll go out here, you'll see what should typically be included in a site package, or concrete. Let's say we're doing slab on deck. You'll find a scope document out there to kind of go through inclusions and exclusions for that. Related to that is bid forms, and then we start jumping into some of the other history stuff, such as archives, unit prices, and such. So I won't go to all of these, but you can essentially see if you click on any one of them, you will then get a list of all the tools in that section, right? So I'm in the estimating one. Here is my main estimating template, or if I was working on a wind project, here is my wind estimating template. So let me go back and get out of here. All right. Other things that are in there, virtual design and construction, very similar to what the pre-construction one was, right? A list of documents that you can use, whether you're trying to put contract language either into a design build contractor's subcontract, or you're trying to work out definitions with your architect as far as what they will be providing for their services and what you'll be giving back to them. So again, all these would be available. If I started typing in a search criteria, I would get this list of results, but this is a collection or a concentration of all the virtual design and construction documents. And then you have some general information, right? You have your announcements, your construction calendars, manuals, right? Here is the PA manual, essentially a list of some of the functions, roles, and responsibilities that they take on and how to do that. Again, these are links to other pages, but if you were a PA and you may say, I want to learn my job from top to bottom, this would be the place to come. If you were a PM, right, here's your orientation manual right here. I'm waiting for it to pop up maybe. There we go. And we can talk about, you know, what is expected of each level of project manager, or what, you know, here's Ryan Tools again. It'll take me to that same link, or Soup Online, key project manager responsibilities. So it's a very extensive list, but hopefully you guys are still getting the idea that all this is interweaved and hopefully taking you back to the same or very similar place. So very link intensive so that you can get to what you need to in multiple ways. Wrapping this up, after that we have a few construction references that are out there. Job history, I showed you how to get to that in some other place. We have our rankings, where Ryan fits in the world in terms of revenue with other design builders, other contractors, and so on and so forth. So you can see it is very, like I said, intermingled with different links that take you to the same place. So as well as general stories on our industry, top stories from ENR, you can jump into these as well. All right, let's see, what else? Let's jump to some other departments and go through it. The ones that you guys are probably most interested in, you can get to any one of these that you want, but like human resources, right? Everybody has a connection to them since they're an employee of Ryan. And so this is a good place to find a lot of things, right? The employee handbook. If you ever wondered what is our policy on, I don't know, I'm even at a loss for figuring out a subject here, but you can find essentially anything in here, right? So what is our policy on conflict resolution? That would be the way to do it. Meals and rest breaks, outside employment. Hopefully everybody has seen this when they came on to Ryan, but if you ever needed to get to it in reference, know that it is available for you on the green. So again, that was departments, HR, and then employee handbook. We also have an employee assistance program here that you can log into. This will probably bring me to a login screen, but it can walk you through life situations such as how to deal with an aging parent, or depression, or some of those things. It's a good outreach program that is available to any Ryan employee and their families. Know that that's out there. After that, let's see, holiday schedules, harassment policies. Hopefully nobody has to worry about that, but that does happen. So if you want to find out the details on it, you could do that there. Performance management, right? This is the time of the year where we are going through reviews and setting goals for the next year. If you ever needed to get to forms that are out there for the performance evaluations, this is where you would find it. So I'll go ahead and I'll just jump into one of these here, and here is the form. All right, let me clear out some of these tabs I have open. I can also just go to the HR page. Strengths Finder, right? Hopefully everybody went through this during the summit and found their top 5 strengths, or done it separately on their own, maybe as part of new employee orientation class. If you ever want to get a better definition of what that strength was, maybe how it relates to other people's strengths, or if you find out one of your peers or coworkers' strengths, this would be the place that you could find that definition. So that exists out there for you too. We've already gone through information systems. I'll skip legal and marketing. Payroll and benefits. Here's another one that everybody essentially could use from time to time. Specifically, the one that has been out there, if I've applied for a car loan or something like that, we no longer give out paper pay stubs. But if you ever needed to get to one of yours, you can click on My Pay Stub, put in your last 4 digits of your Social Security number, and then all the pay stubs are available for you to make PDFs into, print out specifically, and turn in for any legal documents that you need to. So again, that was departments, payroll and benefits, and then I'm on the section on the right-hand side here called My Pay Stub. You also have a list of all your resources related to benefits here on the left-hand side, whether it's our wellness plan, our medical plan, drugs, or prescription drugs, I should say, vision, profit sharing, long-term disability, flex spending, and then again another link to that employee assistance program. So if you're trying to find a doctor, you could head out to the medical plan, and I think it's Blue Link is where I would start searching for doctors in my area or doctors of a certain specialty. I do not remember my member sign-in, so I'm going to hold off on showing you that one for now, but that does exist out there. If you do have any questions on how to access any of those plans and you can't get to them, in this middle section here is a list of all the people that can help you with that. Kathy, Samantha, and Brendan, as well as Patrick White should be on this list too. So departments, and you can see running out there Ryan Real Estate Management and Ryan Building Services. So I won't jump into theirs, but that kind of covers everybody that we're looking for. So hopefully you guys got a good list there. If you want to hold on 1 second, I will unmute lines if there's any questions that everybody has. We will do that. Nick, before I do that, is there anything that I missed that you think we should cover?
No, I think that was good.
Okay. So let me turn everybody on. So everybody's on the speakerphone now. A lot of background noise. Does anybody have any questions on anything on the green or otherwise? All right. I can't tell if that's a question or background noise. So I'm going to go ahead and
I got a question. My question?
Say that again? Yeah,
I
go
have
ahead.
a question. Is this available as, have you recorded this as a program somewhere on YouTube or anything?
So we just recorded it, so your question will be on the recording, and then we'll try and post that. So we are working on doing some of these recordings from time to time. We'll clean them up a little bit. When we do those, we usually post them out to the Ryan Knowledge Center. If you're not familiar with that, that is essentially the YouTube channel that we have. And I'll just go out there quick, and if you bear with me, we'll let this catch up. So the Ryan Knowledge Center is right here. You can type it in at the very top, but we have a list of all these trainings in there, of which we'll make this one of those as well. I also mentioned at the very beginning of the program that we're going to come out with a new learning management tool that kind of pulls everything together, such as these classes, as well as follow-up videos or work instructions. Once that comes online next fall-ish, that's where you'll be able to access the videos as well. So, any other questions? All right, well, I'll wrap it up. Thank you, everyone, for attending, and have a great Monday. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.